Barzal, and you're watching PHTV4. This is Meet the Merchant, and today we are at Richard's Bicycles on Harlem Avenue in Palos Heights. I've got Rich, the owner, here with me, and I know we're very, very early in the season, but I want to talk about this. This is a good reason we're here. Before we talk about bikes and why it's important to, do maintenance on your bike, especially now, how long has Richard's Bicycles been in business?
Well, we've been in this location since 1980. The Richards family, which I've been associated with since that time, actually have been in the business since 1910, so well over 100 years in the bike business. I was partnered with one of the sons of the Richards family. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, so now it's been solely mine for the past 7 years. But like I say, we've been in this location here since 1980, and actually prior to that, I believe it was 1970 when this building was built, and it was built as a bike shop. So these four walls only know it as a bicycle shop. They know nothing else.
I was going to say, that is amazing. Congratulations. I think you said earlier, you're coming up, so 1980, this, for Richard's Bicycles, that's a 44-year anniversary coming up, right? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been, like I say, since 1980 we've been here, and 44 years, it's been a great run, and hopefully it keeps going for quite some time.
No, it is great. Congratulations. That kind of longevity in a business, and obviously it's a tribute to you and your staff and the business you guys do here. And obviously there's a reason for that. And that's what we're going to talk about now, why you guys are so great at your job. So 44 years, going back to 1910 with the original family.
Yep.
Wow. All right. So Richard's Bicycles, and I get your emails occasionally, and I follow you, and I shop here and all that. And you guys do a promotion in February, which I know originally, now I know why. I learned a lesson, but why a promotion in February to do a bike maintenance thing?
It is the best time to do it because, as you know, and many of our customers know, when the season does kick in and the weather gets good, we get from a point of getting your bike back to you 24 to 48 hours to sometimes up to 7 to 10 days to get it back to you. So in February, when it's still not the best of weather outside to ride, bring your bike in, we'll do a tune-up on it, and then that way you're ready when the season does kick in. And then we also do a promotion in the month of February where we offer 50% off of our tune-ups. So bring the bike in, save yourself some money, and be ready when the season kicks in. So there's a lot of advantages to doing that. And like I say, the minute that the weather turns nice, we'll get very, very busy. And I hate when I have to tell you that your bike is going to take 10 days to get back to you. So bring it in February. It'll probably be a couple days at most. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am somebody who learned that lesson where I'm like, well, I'm not riding my bike until May or June, and the weather's nice out now, and I want to bring it in, like the brakes, check the brakes, so the gears weren't quite right and needed some adjustment, and I had that wait process, and then you're watching this real nice weather go by. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I can do the February thing, and then I became aware of the promotion. So yeah, absolutely. So there's a good reason. Get it checked now so it's ready for the weather. But why does the bike even need to get checked? Like, it's been sitting in the garage or basement or whatever, and then you rode it in the fall and it was riding fine. Why should you go through that maintenance check, tune-up?
I would still go with the idea that you are, generally most things don't necessarily go out of adjustment, but you'd rather be sure. It's always great to go out on a 10-mile ride and go out 5 miles and then all of a sudden have a problem. This way we can hopefully get that taken care of before you even go out. If anything, it gives you more confidence in your ride. You are not going to have a breakdown and stuff like that with it. So, again, my thought is if you are an avid rider, absolutely once a year. Semi-avid rider, you could maybe go every other year of that. But again, usually if you put a bike away in the fall and the bike is in good shape, chances are it'll be in good shape when it comes back out. But if you want to be sure, bring it in.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think I'm working under that calendar set. I know for me personally, last year I got a couple rides in December. We had a mild winter, in that month, and but I also knew the gears, weren't shifting exactly right, or things were slipping a little bit in the chain, and then my other bike, my 20-plus-year-old bike, had that same problem where it just had gone too long. So absolutely, it's a great idea. Take advantage of February. You've got the promotion going, and then as soon as that weather starts to give you a chance, you're on it. And like you said, you don't want your bike breaking down when you're out on a ride. That's not a fun experience. A better, safer ride. All right, so that's one. Do the maintenance, do the tune-up. Second thing I want to talk about though is like, buying bikes. The bikes that are available. I mean, we'll get to e-bikes. Let's talk about regular bikes first though. Is now the time? Should I wait until March or May or April?
Pricing and everything isn't going to necessarily change too much from now until spring, unless there's like some kind of a price increase in our industry or something. Generally speaking, getting in now, though, again, the thing I would say at this point is when the weather breaks and everything starts getting very busy, a lot of the distributors are going to start to run low on product. So getting in early is not a bad idea, especially if you're thinking about getting a bike for the spring or that. Start thinking about it now. Come on in, check a couple out. If the weather's good, we do allow test rides. You're welcome to take one for a ride. But for all intentional purposes, you want to at least get that process started. Again, because availability is very good at this point. We start getting more into season, a lot of times things start running low, and it's a little harder sometimes to come by them that.
So a good time for inventory. And the other thing, I guess, related to inventory is, and this is so different than when I was a kid, getting a bike that is the right bike for the type of ride or the size of the person. Can you speak to that just a little bit, how you help with that?
Sure. Bikes today, years ago, we would do a lot of customizing. We would make the bike for you in a sense. Today, a lot of bikes come right out of the box ready to go for whatever it is that you're going to do. If you're going to ride on the pavement, if you're going to ride off-road, if you're going to ride for distance, if you're going to ride for speed, if it's just going to be a recreational ride. So there's a lot that goes into biking right now in regard to what it is that you're going to do with it and stuff. So we've got quite a few different varieties of bikes. Generally, most of them will be, very much catered to what it is that you're going to do. But in the same sense, though, too, we still do customize if necessary. We can change handlebars, seats, different things like that. So, again, it's very important to get the bike that the type of bike that you're going to be using most of your time.
So another good reason to get the bike maintenance. If you're looking for a new bike, this is a good time of year to do it, especially for getting ready for the weather to break. I want to talk about one other bike, and actually maybe you have another person I can talk to about this, because I want to ask about e-bikes. They're becoming more and more popular. I hear their sales are going up. I see in the magazines. So I want to take a look at an e-bike and how those are different.
Absolutely. Right. I'm going to pass you off to Adam. Adam does a lot of our e-bike sales, very knowledgeable about them from the technical point of it and stuff too. So if you don't mind, I'll pass you off to Adam.
All right, let's do that. Thanks, Rich. All right, so we've talked about regular bikes, and obviously a wide variety, whether for road or off-road and anywhere in between. Now we want to take a look at e-bikes. We've got a couple of them in front of us. We're going to look at a couple more. Can you talk about what an e-bike is, why somebody should even consider it, and then maybe we can talk about the different models that are available.
Yeah, okay.
All right?
So our main demographics, I'd say, are older folk who want to get out there and ride, but they can't do it like they were when they were 20. So you get an e-bike, and now someone who can do 5 miles on a normal bike, now you're going to be able to get out there and do 20, 25, 30 miles and kind of expend the same amount of energy as you would with a regular bike. So gives you more places to go. You're more often to go do it because it's more fun. You're not just going around the neighborhood one time. You could go do Lakeshore Drive if you want, stuff like that.
All right, so let's talk about an e-bike so that people understand, because I'm not sure. I have tried e-bikes, and it is a great thing. It is a game changer. It's not like riding a motorcycle. It's not a motorized vehicle. It is a different experience. Do you want to explain what an e-bike does for a rider?
Yeah, so it works through pedal assist. So you are the throttle, essentially. So you choose on the computer here, like up here. There's 4 modes of pedal assist. It's basically 50% of what you put in is mode 1, 130% of what you're putting in is mode 2, 190% is mode 3, and then 250% is mode 4. That's for if you're going up like a really steep hill that would just wind you and feel like crap at the end of it. So yeah, that's basically how it works. So depending on the terrain you're riding, how you feel, if you're tired or not, you just choose the mode that you want, and you can basically choose how easy it is, how much exercise you're getting. But you're going to be able to go out there for 3-4 times as long as a normal bike, so you're still getting that cardio. If for anything, you're getting more cardio at the end of the day.
Right, so you can extend your ride, but you also can determine how hard you want to work on the bike. You're not necessarily going to, you're not going along for a ride. You're pedaling.
Exactly. Yeah, you're still working.
And then in front of us you have, I think these are regarded as like comfort bikes or that level. Can you talk about the different level of bikes? And then, I know we can't talk about the prices, but the big difference, because there is some significant changes in the bikes. Typically, the battery and the weight, probably?
Yeah, well, like with this one here, this is more at entry level one. It's got a 250 watt hour battery. You're going to get about 35, 40 miles of range out of that. It's a rear mounted motor, so it's a little less, I'd say, refined feeling, but it still works well. And then when you get into something like this here, which is roughly double the price, it's a center mount motor, so a lot more refined. You're getting a 500 watt hour battery, so now you're looking at like 80 miles of range. So if you're the retired family that goes out on RV trips and you're going and doing really long weekend rides or whatnot, this would probably be good for your average family like that. If you're just going to want to go do the bike path for 20, 30 miles, probably something like this. But there's also a weight difference too. You're looking at probably 40, 45 pounds, maybe 35, 40 pounds on that. With this, you're looking at about 55 pounds, and it's all in the battery. But the battery's removable on this, so you can drop about 10 pounds just by pulling the battery off if you're trying to put it on a bike rack.
Okay, thank you. That was, so something for somebody considering looking at an e-bike is the weight, but the weight not maybe as much as the battery, how much power you get out of it, how the longevity of the battery for the ride. But you brought up another thing. I want to talk about, like, let's say I want to go to Lakeshore Drive. I have to transport it. We want to talk about bike racks, because I think even bike racks for these are a little bit heavier duty than your regular bike rack. And the other concern for some people is going to be, well, I can't lift that. So can we take a look at a bike rack to do?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so I know you have a variety of bike racks, and now specifically you're going to show us one that you could use for regular bikes, but you can use it for e-bikes too. Can you show us how it works?
It's really well suited for e-bikes. First, most standard bike racks, they're only rated for about 35 pounds per bike. With e-bikes, you're at like 45 to 55 pounds per bike, so you need to get a bike rack that's designed to be able to go up to those heavier weights. This one right here is rated for 60 pounds per bike, and the really nice thing about it is, on top of folding up real easy,
Go ahead.
it's got a ramp system. It's got a ramp system, so if you don't want to lift that, throw your back out.
It could be heavy.
Yeah, for a lot of people it's too heavy, so you just ramp in and you just wheel the bike right up.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I get it. That's a nice feature. I think about people trying to lift their bike on, like you're saying, an e-bike, that could cause trouble for people, and this is a great way to make that a lot more manageable. Adam, thank you very much for giving us a rundown on the e-bikes, and then obviously a rack system that somebody might consider if they want to travel with it. All right. Great advice. Looking forward to getting out and riding a bike. So thank you.
For sure, definitely. Good. Any other questions? Stop on by.
All right. So we're at Richards Bicycles in Palos Heights and Harlem Avenue. Great time to get bike maintenance, start shopping the new bikes, get in front of the warm weather that hopefully is coming up real soon. Thank you, Adam. You've been watching Meet the Merchant on PHTV4. Thank you for watching.